And welcome everybody to the Planeswalker Guide draft video. I'm going to be making some number of these, at least one, because it's the one you're watching right now. So we are here in a draft queue, and yeah, let's see what's going on. So the thing that immediately jumps to my mind is Lathnu Hellion. This card is fantastic if you can cast it right on time. And goes fairly well in some kind of an energy deck, and I do like playing those. Other things that I might consider here, Wisp-Weaver Angel is definitely a powerful card, so is Fairgrounds Trumpeter. This could go in like a Fabricate sort of direction. Not terribly interested in the Train, High Tide Hermit. Great if you're doing energy things, same with Turtle, but not awesome. Tidy Conclusion, always nice to have if we know we're in black, but obviously at double black, not amazing. Let's just take Lathnu Hellion. I mean, this can just kind of give us some free wins, some free damage if it gets in there, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm not a huge fan of Engineered Might. As a green-white card, I mean, I'll definitely take it if I'm already green-white, but I don't necessarily want to get into it that early. The artifacts here look good. Actually, all the artifacts I'm seeing on here look good. Night Market Lookout is definitely a thing that can do some things. But my eye is pointing actually right at this Thriving Rhino. This is another energy card and can go really well with our Lathnu Hellion. Red-green energy is definitely a thing we can do, and we could stretch into blue a little bit. Other than Engineered Might, which is really specific, and Cobra, which is kind of half a green card. It lets us kind of stake a claim here in green. And Rhino's just good. You know, I mean, it's a 2-3. It'll be a 3-4 if you want it. I'm a fan there. Another vehicle here, not an awesome one, but this can definitely do something. Lost Legacy is a good sideboard card when you know what you're doing with it, but not a card we want to play in Limited. Otherwise, we've got a bunch of white cards here. That's definitely something to keep note of. Thriving Ibex, while an energy card is like the only energy card in white, so it's probably not what we want to do if we're wanting to do an energy thing. But Wild Wanderer is fine. It gives us the potential for splashing. And that by itself is probably just as good as the bulk of this white stuff. Harrier's fine. The goat is it's a goat. So there's that, but otherwise it's just fine. Yeah. May as well take a green card. We'll kind of stay on color here and see what happens. Well, Pima Outrider is a great card. It's a 4/4 trample for 4, and that's definitely solid. We can get the extra artifact out of it. We can get a +1/+1 counter on it, and you know, that can definitely be a thing. Definitely better than the other kind of colors we could potentially go into. Make Obsolete is a fantastic card against one specific deck, and otherwise is not huge. And Thriving Grubs is great, but we can definitely get late Thriving Grubs. In fact, this one in particular maybe we'll back around. If Pima Outrider wasn't here, I might even be tempted with something like Eager Construct, just so that, or even Goggles, just so that we could, have a colorless card that we can play with. But this seems fine. Ooh. Era of Innovation is a fantastic card in an energy deck if that's a direction that we can go in. We're still in a position where we could kind of abandon red. I mean, the Hellion is good, but our other 3 cards are all green. This can give us lots of energy and then pay off by letting us draw cards, and I love doing both of those things. Works really well in that sort of deck, and the fact that we're getting it 5th pick might say something. Might mean that nobody's going to try and do that yet. We could definitely wheel something like the Sage or even a Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot if we're deep into energy, if we get some good energy payoffs. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. Now, we're definitely going to be looking for ways where we can do something with our energy. That is going to be important. I don't think we're going to get Stompy. Crew 5 is just too hard. That's just not a thing that we can do. Not playing the Fog. We're not milling people. Not huge on the 4-mana counterspell. I think I'm going to take this Salivating Gremlins. Between that and Spireside Infiltrator, Gremlins is probably the better defensive card. Infiltrator is great if we had vehicles, but right now we have none. So, ooh, Gearseeker Serpent. This guy is fantastic. Oh, and so is Riparian Tiger. So we talked about on the show Gearseeker Serpent, and one of the reasons why it is awesome. We can get some sweet artifacts. Our Pima Outrider already makes us an artifact if we need to. Salivating Gremlins likes it when we play artifacts. Yeah, there's definitely some good things that we can get out of that. It's between that and Tiger, and just the upside on Gearseeker Serpent is so much higher that I think I want to go in that direction. Tiger is definitely the energy card. Not a huge payoff for energy, though. Dubious Challenge is as dubious as it may seem. Cowl Prowler here is fine. Inspired Charge goes in a very specific deck, which we are not. Sage or Thriving Grubs is probably the direction we're going to go in. And right now we've got 3 green cards and 2 red cards. Thriving Grubs is a more aggressive card, but I think I'm going to take Sage. Being in... Oh, crap. Oh, wow. All right. We just missed an entire pack, so that's awesome. Well, that being the case, we are getting back 3 blue cards out of this pack. There's a Tezzeret's Ambition and a Windrake, and I'm tempted to go with Tezzeret's Ambition over the Drake. Don't get me wrong, Windrake is definitely good, but being able to draw cards in this kind of a deck can be really, really valuable. Nothing here. This is not a card. It's just not. It's just not. And Renegade Tactics at least draws us a card, so maybe slightly better. I'm going to grab this Lost Legacy, and hey, look, it's a modern sideboard card. Well, we could have picked up a Tezzeret's Ambition here, but we'll take a Puzzle Knot, sure. On the off chance that we get an amazing artifact, I'm going to take this over the Wily Bandar. Sure. All the Renegade Tactics. Every possible Renegade Tactic is available to us. So if we get a great artifact, then this might be something, but it's really hard to imagine an instance where we'd play it. Oh! Oh! Gonti! Oh, Gonti. He's the person, that's for sure. But we don't get to take Gonti. We're not going to be able to splash it here. We don't have a Prism yet. There's not even one in this pack. We have to give it up. It's sad, but we do get to take Shrewd Negotiation. So this is fantastic. Any kind of mind control effect, anything where you get to take one of your opponent's things, that is definitely worth considering. Tune with Aether is great. And we might even consider it out of this pack. Self-Assembler is also great, but yeah, no, we're going to shrewdly negotiate things. Oh, Long Tusk Cub. This is fantastic. It is a great turn 2 play, and with all of with all the energy cards that we can play, it is a great late game play. Can just be fantastic for us. I would love this Glimmer of Genius to come back. I don't think that's going to happen. There's another Pima Outrider. I would even play a Blade Master. But Long Tusk Cub is great. Just being able to pay energy for counters means we can get billions of energy, dump this on the battlefield. It's a 2/2, but not for long. It will get very big very fast. So definitely an energy payoff card for us. And, hey, Armorcraft Judge. So this works really well with Thriving Rhino. It works really well with Pima Outrider. Anything else that's going to be able to throw counters on things. Card is great. And even if all we end up doing is drawing one card off of it, that's still great. And as a 4-mana 3/3, it is perfectly okay. Ether Theorist is definitely something we would love to wheel and have that come back. Yeah. Armorcraft Judge. Here comes the Judge. That's what we're doing. Now's when I'm looking at Thriving Turtle. But see if there's anything else here. Ruinous Gremlin does have value, more than it may otherwise appear, but if I'm going to do that, I'm going to take Turtle and get a little bit more energy in there. Plus, you know, again, potential for counters. We're not switching into another color for these. Gear per Guide can be good, but our top end card already has the kind of evasion that we want. So, Turtle, get on the team. Ooh, Decoction Module. This is a great card for us. This is going to make energy. So we're really looking for payoffs now. I think we've got a good amount of energy-producing cards that we're looking for something that we can do with all that energy. So that's definitely going to be our priority going forward. But otherwise, Decoction Module, being able to just get free energy off of things and then get creatures back into our hand if need be. We can save some things or something like that. Yeah, we're going to take that. Oh, so that's really interesting. Oh, but Nature's Way is here. All right, so here's the difficulty. Minister of Inquiries is a great way to spend energy. If you have a lot of it and you can mill your opponent out, this is a card that can be played on turn 1, just give you an extra couple of energy, but it could also be a late game payoff where you throw this down and then they either have to use a removal spell to kill your 1/2 or you're just going to slowly mill them out. And there's not really a whole lot of stuff to do from the graveyard in this. However, Nature's Way is one of the better fight cards, and it's actually less a fight card and more a punch card because your opponent doesn't get to fight back. And I'm a big fan of people not fighting back. So I think we're going to go that direction. Durable Handicraft really it would be asking us the question, do we want to go the +1/+1 counter route, which is really good with Armorcraft Judge, but doesn't really do anything else with anything else that we're doing? Or do we want to go a different direction here? We could pick up another Turtle. If we don't play these red cards, this is my concern. We're a little short on 3s, so it's a thing we want to prioritize. And it kind of makes me want to pick up... You know what? I'm going to take the Turtle here, but we really need to look for 3-drops. I would like a Appetite for the Unnatural. It's definitely a valuable card, but I don't think I quite want to take it here. Now... Peafowl is actually fine in our deck. We do like having artifacts in play. Being able to get flying is good. It's that really what I'm seeing here is between this and Takedown. And Takedown is a fantastic sideboard card. I'm gonna take Peafowl. I think we can wheel a Takedown. All right, well, no 3-drops. None. None at all. Do we want the Train? Train's a decent sideboard card. There are definitely places where that can do some work for us. Do we want another Wild Wanderer? Would allow us to splash some things if they're good late game. I'm going to take the Train. I don't know if that's an awesome pick, but it's definitely an adequate one. All right, here, Blade Master seems fine. I don't know that we're going to get a lot of great tricks to really use its prowess ability, but it's better than picking up a random puzzle knot or going off color or Wily Vandar. We're not doing that. Ooh, Ether Theorist is exactly the sort of thing that we would like. Yeah, we'll do that. Ooh, and this Gear Per Guide came all the way around. That is fantastic. This is great. Ornamental Courage is actually a decent trick, and we might take that too. When we get the chance, neither of these things are terribly good, so I'll take the blue one. Hey, look, it's an Ornamental Courage. Not sure if we're going to have room for that, but a decent little trick. Being able to untap and use this defensively is fine, and there's some cool things we can do. Ooh, Ether Works Marvel. So I'm not sure what the cash value on this card is, but it is a fantastic energy payoff, as well as another way of making energy for us. So just getting free cards always seems like a good time. Armorback Stomper is definitely something we would like. Appetite for the Unnatural could come back around, and we'd be okay with that. I'd splash for Welding Sparks, but yeah. Take the Mythic. Always a good call. Ooh, Skyship Stalker. Yeah, I don't think we can do that. Harness Lightning is definitely a thing we could splash, though. Otherwise, it's another turtle or another Tezzeret's Ambition. I don't think we even play a third turtle if we got one. And I don't think we play a second Tezzeret's Ambition. So in this case, I think taking the off-color Harness Lightning is probably the best way to go. Really powerful spell, worth putting in, a single mountain, and between that, our Wild Wanderer, and then if we can get a prism or something along those lines, that would be great. I would happily take out our Puzzle Knot here, or Ovia Pashiri. Definitely has some very powerful abilities. I wouldn't mind another Rhino, but I really don't think we want to pass this up. Definitely tells us that we're going to be we're receiving even more good green here, but this is just fantastic. We're going to be able to build up an army of things, and she's making artifacts. That's good for us. Eventually can make giant things. Just kind of a whole plan in a box if we can get that down. Sure, we'll do that. Oh my gosh. So sometimes your opponents just pass you all the things. So when they do that, you take all the things, because Ether Swell Ancient is fantastic. Not only is it a 6/6 flyer for 7 mana, which I'd probably play at this point, but it's got a huge payoff if we have a bunch of energy, and we do. So that's happening. I'd love to grab a Seed Sculptor, even an Ether Trade Winds I would play, but so good. Well, all right. So we could take another Gear Seeker Serpent. We could take a Longfin Skywhale, which is definitely an upgrade over this Peafowl that we've got here. We could take a Pima Outrider. But even more valuable than that at this point, I think, is this Prophetic Prism. This card is super, super good. It's going to help us play our Harness Lightning. And I think it's definitely better than a Puzzle Knot here. It's going to draw us a card. It's giving us an artifact. It's just doing all the things. It's doing all the things. All right. I don't think we play a second Wild Wanderer at this point. We definitely aren't playing a second Tezzeret's Ambition. I think I'm just going to pick up a Weldfast Monitor here as an off-color artifact creature. And we'll see if that's even something we need to do, but put that on the board. High Spire. Ooh, all right. So I was looking at High Spire Artisan, and then immediately came over here. Imperial Voyagers in both of our colors. Makes energy whenever he hits people. Flying Trample. Just does it all. Just does it all. And he's got 6 fingers, so, you know. Select for Inspection is good. Appetite for the Unnatural is definitely better at this point for us. And we definitely want to consider main decking that. There's a second one. Or another Blade Master. I think we're going to take the second Appetite, but we'll put that in the board. None of these things are really anything we want. Gremlins is the most build-around card, so I'm going to go ahead and steal that away from someone who might want it. We're definitely not playing another Sage. I don't see places where we play a Nimble Innovator. I'm going to grab the Sage, because the other things definitely don't make our deck. Obviously, we're not taking any of these things. I'm going to take this Pyro Helix away from somebody. Yeah, Wingsmith. Sure. Hey, look. Got another Tezzret's Ambition anyway. All right. So, we're at 26 cards. And 16 creatures, 10 other cards. So let's get through that draft portion. There we go. So let's see where those other cards are. Shrewd Negotiation and Tezzret's Ambition are definitely... Oh, come on. Come on, Magic Online. Group creature separately. Hey, there we go. Okay. So... we've got some options here. Just the straight-up combat trick, to me, seems like the first and easiest cut. I think we can just... I just think our other cards are gonna do better for us. We want to cut another couple of cards. And cutting a Thriving Turtle seems okay. I'm tempted to cut this Sage, but I'm not sure if that's correct. Prophetic Prism we know is good. Decoction Module, Nature's Way, Harness Lightning, like these are all going to do really, really good work for us. Aetherworks Marvel is going to do great work for us. We've got a couple things that are capable of making servos between Ovia. We have like Sage, which is a perfectly reasonable... Oh, this needs to be artifacts we control. So we can make an artifact here. We can make an artifact with Pima Outrider. I would even give away a Prism. Shrewd Negotiation is not great for us in this deck. It's got a really, really high upside. When you exchange your opponent's 5/5 for your 1/1 servo, that's pretty great. And it's good enough in the late game where I think we're still okay playing it. I think we are. Question is, what is the cut here? Let's see. Yeah, Sage is looking very, very cuttable. The thing with Sage of Shayla's Claim, so here's my thinking between this and Ether Theorist. Ether Theorist is a 1/3 versus a 2/1. This is a lot more likely to stick around, be alive, block things. I mean, it definitely blocks the Sage here. The Sage is going to block one thing and die. If our opponent has nothing, then we might be able to attack in for some more damage, but more likely, we're going to play this, we're going to get our 3 energy, and life is going to move on. This is going to give us the same 3 energy, has the ability to scry later on, which would be really good if we're trying to find our really powerful cards, like Aetherworks Marvel, or Ether Squall Ancient, or lands to let us cast those. But it also is just a better defensive card, and I think by the time we get to later parts of the game, that is going to do more for us. So I'm going to cut the Sage at this point. It gives us 14 creatures, 9 other cards. This is drawing as cards. This is drawing as cards. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that are artifacts or make artifacts. Tezzeret Ambition can still be really good. This is the other card that I'm considering cutting. And you know, I do like the draw, but we've got both Arrow of Innovation and Prophetic Prism that is going to kind of accelerate us through things. So is Aetherworks Marvel. Tezzeret's Ambition, I think you're going to go. I think we actually are going to bring the Sage back in, because the extra energy is going to fuel a couple really big payoffs here. Both Arrow of Innovation, if we just have 6 energy, we can just play this, sacrifice it immediately, and draw 3 cards. It's just amazing. And Aetherworks Marvel, of course, being able to just give us free cards, that seems great. All right. I think that's what we're going to do. So let's combine our groups, and let's sort by color. So we know we want 1 mountain in here. We've got a few double blue cards and 1 double green card, but otherwise mostly just 1 color requirement and a Prophetic Prism. God, I love that. So let's say, yeah, 1 mountain, 1/8/8 is what Magic Online suggests. Yeah, good call, Magic Online. Good call. We'll do that. We will take a last look here. I think this is what we want to play. All right. We'll save it. And we'll be back for round 1.